So for our children's sermon today, live and online, I want to talk to you about the very last part of the gospel reading, where Peter and James and John, they all followed Jesus. Now, usually, when we think about following, it means that somebody walks in front of us and then we just walk along behind them. And literally, that is one of the things that Peter and James and John did. They just actually walked behind Jesus and saw where he was going. And we think, well, that's great, but I can't follow Jesus the way they followed Jesus because I don't see Jesus standing in front of me, so that must just be for people in the Bible. But actually, when Peter and James and John followed, it was more than just walking behind Jesus. They did a couple of things that were really important as they followed Jesus. First of all, they watched Jesus. They watched what he did. They saw how he helped people. Lots of us, when you guys have been, many of you guys have been in vacation Bible school and you used to wear the wristbands that said, "Watch for God," that was a way of training us to think about, what is God doing in the world around us? How do I see the beauty of God around me? How do I see God working in other people? That's part of following, and that's a kind of following we can do. One of the things that Peter and James and John did when they followed is they listened to Jesus. They didn't just see him do things, they were listening. Just like in today's gospel reading, they listened to Jesus. And sometimes we go, well, I can't hear Jesus like they did. How can I listen for Jesus? But sometimes it's as simple as reading the Bible and listening to the words of Jesus to us today. That can be a way that we can follow, just like Peter, James, and John. We can listen like they listened. But see, they didn't just watch and they didn't just listen. Jesus said to them when they followed, "Go and help me. Go do these things." So like when they were all together and there were people that needed to be fed, Jesus says, "Here's some food. Go give it to the crowds." And they went and did what Jesus told them to do. And that was a way of following. And we can do that too. So we're collecting, right? We're collecting food. We talked about this last week. We're collecting stew and soup, and we're going to give them to people who need them, just like the first disciples did. And that's a way that we can follow too. So whenever you hear in the Bible about people following Jesus, it's not just about following Jesus around. It's about watching, it's about listening, and it's about doing what Jesus did. Thank you guys very much for listening.